Hi, are you trying to conceive and you are over the age of 35 or even over the age of 40 and you have been lumped into that dreaded advanced maternal age category, and maybe you're feeling a little discouraged about your efforts in trying to conceive because of all of the horror stories you have read and or heard and or maybe even that your doctor has shared with you around trying to conceive at an advanced age. I am Stephanie Roth from YourFertileSelf.com, and I am here in this video to dispel some myths. I'm here to do some myth busting today around sort of all the commonly held misconceptions around trying to conceive at an advanced maternal age. I consider myself a semi-authority on this subject. I did successfully conceive my first child over the age of 40. Specifically, I didn't even begin trying to conceive until I was 41, almost 42, and successfully conceived my son a month before my 43rd birthday, almost to the day. And he was born a few months before I turned 44. So I know a thing or two about trying to conceive at an advanced age. And today in this video, I'm gonna share with you some of the most commonly held myths or beliefs around trying to conceive when you're older, give you my take on it, and leave you with a couple of recommendations to help you move forward in your own journey. So let's go ahead and get started. I am fired up. I love this topic, and there are so many myths around trying to conceive at an advanced age that need to be busted in this video. So, what is advanced maternal age? The term advanced maternal age describes a woman who is trying to conceive over the age of 35. The commonly held belief is that, fertility declines as we age, and that 35 is sort of the magical tipping point at which point we go from being, more fertile and more able to conceive easily to all of a sudden, not being fertile and not being able to conceive easily. So advanced maternal age is someone who is trying to conceive over the age of 35. Infertility is defined for a woman over the age of 35 as a woman who has not been able to successfully conceive in 6 months. Period. So if you've been trying for over 6 months and you're over 35, it's recommended that you seek help. At that point, you're officially considered of advanced maternal age. So this leads me right into myth number one, and that is that fertility takes a nosedive when you hit 35. So here's my take on this. Fertility does decline as we age. I mean, this is a documented fact. For women, so much of it centers around the fact that we are born with, all the eggs that we'll ever have, and our egg supply kind of declines as we get older. It's natural to expect that a woman who is a little older is going to have a little more trouble conceiving than a woman who is younger. But the reality is, while our fertility declines as we age, it doesn't dive off a cliff, which is, what the common belief is. It's almost like you're 34 years old and 364 days and you're fertile, and then the next day you wake up and you're 35 and all of a sudden you're not fertile. And it really doesn't work that way. Fertility is on a continuum, and it's all relative. So while we see gradual declines as we age, we don't see this big, plummet when we hit this magic number of 35. Studies show that women who are over 35, there was a study that was done that showed that women who were between the ages of 35 and 39, if they're regularly having intercourse, at least twice a week, 82% of those women conceived within a year, as compared with 86% of women who were between the ages of 27 and 34. So there's a decline there, yes, but it's not this steep, diving off a cliff. Your fertility all of a sudden gets washed up when you hit 35. So yes, our fertility declines as we age. but it doesn't take a big nosedive as the myth suggests. Myth number 2, low AMH is a death sentence. Okay, this one's one of my favorites because I am a low AMH girl myself. When I was trying to conceive, my AMH tested out at 0.15. AMH is anti-Müllerian hormone. It's a commonly done test that fertility doctors, reproductive endocrinologists do to measure what they call ovarian reserve. So how many eggs you have left. It's a simple blood test. It can be done at any time during your cycle. The information that it gives your doctor is, gives them a picture of your ovarian reserve. So the thinking is that the lower the number, the lower your AMH level, the less number of eggs you have left. So mine was incredibly, incredibly low. Mine was 0.15. That put me in the undetectable category. My egg supply was basically undetectable. Basically, I had no eggs left, and according to the doctors. So that's just a commonly done test for ovarian reserve, and we'll see lower AMH levels in older women. And it leads a lot of doctors to, including mine, to tell their patients that they're not going to get pregnant with their own eggs, and that they need to do procedures like donor egg IVF, donor embryo, adoption, surrogacy, that they need to pursue other options and basically give up on trying to conceive with their own eggs. So I've written about this. There have been lots of studies that have shown this, and that is that low AMH does not equate to success in conceiving with your own eggs. Basically, if you don't have a lot of eggs left, what it primarily suggests is that you might not be the best candidate for IVF using your own eggs. It suggests that you might not respond well to the stimulation, the ovarian stimulation that is, the first part of an IVF cycle, because the goal of such stimulation is to harvest large numbers of eggs. And if you don't have large numbers of eggs to start with, you might not respond so well to that stimulation. But if you're trying to conceive naturally, you don't have, with low AMH, you don't have any less of a chance than anyone else. So while low AMH might suggest you might not respond well to IVF, it doesn't say anything about your ability to conceive naturally. I didn't do IVF, I conceived with IUI, and there are lots of stories of women like me who have low AMH who did manage to conceive with their own eggs. So you can check out my blog where I've written more extensively about this. So that myth is also busted. Low AMH is not a death sentence. Low AMH simply means you might not, again, emphasis on might not, respond as well to IVF, but that you don't have any less of a chance of conceiving naturally than anyone else. Myth number 3, if and when you do conceive, it's going to be dangerous. So, this is so dependent on the individual. But the thinking is that, older women have high-risk pregnancies, they have greater risk for complications, they have higher risk of miscarriage. There is, some truth to some of this. We do see, egg quality decline as women age, which can lead to a higher probability of pregnancy loss. But so much around, having a healthy pregnancy, having a healthy delivery is so dependent on the individual person and your own health and how well you're taking care of yourself, how well you're eating, how well you're sleeping, how well you're moving your body and how often, whether or not you smoke, whether or not you're taking vitamins. I mean, there's so many variables that make a healthy person that contributes to the health of a pregnancy and a delivery. So For myth number 3, I would suggest that we just focus on being the healthiest person that we can be. Once I was able to get pregnant, I had the most uneventful pregnancy in the world, and I was not treated in high risk in any way. In fact, my doctor even said that I didn't need to do any of the advanced chromosomal testing because my early test indicators indicated such a low probability of complications during the pregnancy. So age, doesn't really have a lot of bearing, in my opinion, on, the actual pregnancy itself once a woman is able to get pregnant. Myth number 4, you were selfish to wait. So a big misconception around women of trying to conceive at an advanced age is that they waited too long because they were too focused on their careers. And I would say that, in response to that there are so many reasons why people wait to have children. And every person's circumstances are unique and different. And to say that we all waited too long to try to have children because we were too focused on our careers is a gross overgeneralization. Some women don't even meet the right person until they're over 40. I met my husband when I was almost 35 and got married when I was 38. Some women, get married younger and the marriage doesn't work out, and they're starting over when they hit middle age. They're starting over with new partners and want to have children with them. Some women never meet the right person, but hit the age of 35 or 40, and they still want to have a child, and they decide to become single mothers by choice. Some of us aren't in life circumstances when we're younger that are conducive to creating a stable home life for a child, or we're not secure financially in our careers, and so we work more to create that stable financial environment. It does not mean that we were too focused on our careers. So the reasons are so varied that to say that we all were too focused on our careers, selfishly being the implication, that's just a gross overgeneralization. So that's my response to that. And myth number 5, if you are of advanced maternal age, you're not going to be a mom. My response to that is we see women all over the world getting pregnant, having healthy pregnancies, delivering healthy babies, raising happy children, creating beautiful families at all ages, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, and even in their 50s. My response to that is, if you believe in your heart that you will be a mom, you will be a mom. You will find a way to create and manifest that desire in your life. For some of us, we might not follow the so-called traditional path to motherhood, and we're so fortunate that we live in such a time now where we have so many options available to us for family building. So there are so many ways to make a family these days, and if you truly believe in your heart and want it so badly in your heart, it will happen for you. It will happen for you. You will be able to manifest this in your life. And you will be a mom. You are next. So my suggestion, if you are trying to conceive at an advanced age, is to not so much focus on the probabilities. When your doctor tells you that you have less than a 2% chance of getting pregnant, like my doctor told me, instead of focusing and fixating on those odds, and the numbers, your age being a number, your AMH level being a number, your probability being a number, rather than focusing on the numbers, focus on becoming the healthiest you that you can be. You know, there's so many statistics involved in this journey, and if it was all about the statistics, all the people with, you know, the young people with great test results would get pregnant, which we know is not the case, and all the people who are older or maybe don't have great test results, like me, wouldn't get pregnant, and we know that that's not the case either. It's not so black and white. There's a huge gray area. So focus on the gray area. Things in the gray area include, you know, how well you're taking care of yourself, how you're eating, how you're moving your body, how you're sleeping, how you're managing your stress, how you are showing up in the world. And these are things that you can focus on and control each and every day of your life. So focus on becoming the healthiest you, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, the healthiest you that you can be. And I would also suggest that you use this time to focus on preparing, not just to get pregnant, but to be a mom, preparing to be a mom, preparing for this huge transformation and change that's about to take place in your life. And think about, you know, what kind of mom you want to be and what kind of values you want to give to your future baby. And, you know, the huge transition that is about to unfold for you. There's so much preparation to do to get ready for that, and this is a great time to do it. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you like it, please leave a comment below. And please hit subscribe, and you can also grab my free ebook, 101 Ways to Boost Your Fertility, even if you're over 40 and have been told there's no chance. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.